Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Hybrid Now. It is hot out here. It's like, 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's 87 and humid. So it's a perfect day to jump inside the new Prius here and take a look at the gauge cluster. What all can you actually see? What all can you actually do? So let's go ahead. We're going to run through it real quick. And I am very green with this myself, so it's going to be a bit of a learning experience for me as well. Now, first off, you can see the door is open. It shows you that. Let's go ahead and shut the door, see what happens. It tells you miles, 399, and the time. So I've got almost 400 miles on this car already. I'm going to go ahead and try to sit you guys right up in front of the wheel here. I think that's a pretty good spot. And we're going to go ahead and start the car. Now, you're going to see it pop up in EV mode. And then as we sit here and the air conditioning's running, of course, it's going to kick over to the engine as well. So we're going to burn a little gas. Let's go ahead and fire it up. And you can see there it says ready on the left. And then it shows a bunch of information on this screen. It shows there's no rear passengers. We're in EV mode. And then it gives you the speedometer, fuel, bunch of other things on the right. On the bottom right over here, it shows you 242 miles. That's how many miles I have left as far as gas goes. And then it shows you the lights are on. I'm going to turn those off. There's no reason to have them on. I'm not wearing my seatbelt, and then we're in park. Now, let's go ahead and kind of run through. I do have the tire pressure gauge up here, but we're not rolling, so it hasn't updated. Let's go ahead and arrow down on the steering wheel, and by that I mean right here. I'm controlling what you're seeing right here on the steering wheel. So let's go back up here. There we go. And you can see it's got all of the lane departure stuff up here. You can turn on or off by hitting the OK button. You move around by just pushing the arrow buttons where I showed you here. You can see it has arrow buttons on here. So if we push to the left in this case, it's going to move us over to the next selectable option right there, and so forth on through to change all of the lane departure, parking assist, PDA, PCS, BSM, blind spot monitoring, and then back to lane departure. Now, we're going to go down again, and there are no messages. That's a good thing. Back to the top. Total average, right now, averaging for me is 42.8 miles per gallon. A bit shy of the 52 to 54 miles per gallon, but frankly, most of my driving is just city type stuff and sitting in the garage. The engine will kick on in a minute. I assume you'll be able to hear that. Now, let's go on down. Next up, we have a compass. Shows you what direction you're going, I suppose. Well, hopefully. Let's arrow down. We have the audio controls. The audio system is off. Let's go down again, back to the tire pressure monitoring. And then if we arrow right, I'm curious to see what else we get. All right, we've got the all-wheel drive graphic that comes up. Obviously, we're not moving. Let's move on over. Oh, let's go back to that real quick. You'll notice it shows gauges here. It will actually show you how much power is going to each different wheel. Let's go back over. It's got a distance trip meter and a time meter. And then the energy monitor. I dig that. It shows you when you're moving where power is coming from. Right now you can see it's lit up on the battery side. That's because we're running in EV mode right now. Once that engine kicks on, it will light up and you'll see a flow of energy. Let's go back over, back to the tire pressure monitoring screen. Now, I'm going to go all the way back up to the top because I want to arrow through. This is the miles per gallon I showed you. It'll give you an eco score. I have no score right now because I'm not doing anything. It will give you another EV driving ratio. Right now we're at 100% because we're running on EV. and then back to the original screen. Let's go down to the next area. This is the compass. Let's arrow over. Adaptive cruise mode. I'm not using adaptive cruise, so there's nothing to see there. And back to the compass. Music. Curious to see, since it's off, it doesn't let me arrow through anything else on this screen because I'm not listening to anything. Go back down. We already saw this screen. That was the tire pressure monitor, the all-wheel drive, blah, blah, blah. We just went through that. Let's go down again. This is going through the different safety features. Not really interested in that. Back down to messages, and there's nothing to scroll through here because I don't have any messages. This is where I would normally keep it. I said speedometer. That's not true. That's always on the right. I usually keep it here on fuel economy so I can see what it's doing. But I think going forward, I'm going to actually, let's see if I can find that power delivery there. I actually like to see that. That's pretty cool. I was hoping the engine would actually kick on, and it should any second, while we're sitting here doing nothing in the garage. Now, going over to the radio while we're on this energy flow screen, there's one other thing I want to show you. If you hit the car icon here, you're going to have different areas you can select. Climate, trip information, energy flow, and vehicle alert. Let's check vehicle alert, see if anything shows up. And nothing did. That's good, because I'm hoping I don't have any vehicle alerts. Let's go back, check out climate. You can see it's showing me a couple of different things. It's only on auto right now. If I go to options, a couple other things I can do, a de-icer, an eco heat or cool. If I go back, we can go to trip information. That's going to show me my miles per gallon, speed, range that's left, other stuff. You can clear it if you want. History, that shows me I'm at 42.8 miles per gallon currently, and I have not reset this since I got the car, so that's all of my driving. Go back one more time, and this is the interesting screen, the energy flow. You can see right now here we're simply going, and the engine just kicked on. Perfect timing. So you can see the energy flow now is coming from the engine. Everything is flowing through, and we're also working to charge the battery a little bit. Now, up here on the screen on the dash, you can see what's happening there as well. I think I'm going to go for a while that way because I like to see that. I mean, it is a hybrid, right? So something to check out. Now, I'm going to go back to just radio here. Hopefully it doesn't kick on. And that's it for now. That's the whole gauge cluster briefly. All of the things that you can see up there, as well as a little bit on the center screen. We'll go through these different options too at some point in the future, but I just kind of wanted to go through and show you what the gauge cluster is right up front. Now, one other thing I do want to mention, some reviewers have complained about the steering wheel blocking your view. This is eye level. You're sitting right in front of my eyes right now. So this is what I can actually see. I find if you get the seat right and the steering wheel right, you don't really have any issues. There's nothing to see right down here. So even if that area is blocked a little bit, you can still see everything up above the steering wheel. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of that stuff. I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.